We got some breaking news just before you stepped onto set. This coming from Microsoft that basically they're going to cut 9,000 workers in a second wave of major layoffs. It seems like Microsoft is really looking to reduce headcount here.
Hey guys, Breezy CPA here, your certified public accountant, back with another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Microsoft's cut of over 15,000 jobs in 2025, the reasoning behind their decisions to cut these jobs, the implications behind these decisions, and what this means from a financial context for the company. At the end of the video, we'll also dive into some comments from people inside and outside the industry in order to see what they have to say about these recent layoffs. So basically, as we all know, Microsoft is one of the biggest corporations on the planet, and it remains one of the most valuable companies in the world, second only to Nvidia when it comes to market cap. And their stock recently hit the $500 mark for the first time in history after announcing 9,000 jobs being laid off from Microsoft. And there's no coincidence that there's a correlation between these 9,000 layoffs and this new stock high that they have here with their stock. Basically, from an accounting standpoint, the labor costs for these corporations are the largest operating expenses on their books, on their income statement. And especially in the tech sector, where compensation includes not just the salaries of these employees, but also the equity, the benefits, and the bonuses that these employees have. When you reduce the headcount by this many people, that allows Microsoft to trim their operating expenses significantly, which is going to improve their operating margins, which is what investors want to see. And in turn, that is going to up their net income. So basically, this is going to drive up their earnings per share. As we can see, that this has impacted their stock price significantly. And basically, that is going to make the company more attractive to its investors in the long term. So looking at this article here, Microsoft's Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, says that job cuts have been weighing on him heavily. So let's all remember here that Nadella is a billionaire. He has over $1 billion net worth, and he's expressing his sympathy towards having to let go of these employees in Microsoft. In a memo to Microsoft's more than 200,000 employees on Thursday, CEO Nadella said that the company's layoffs this year have been weighing heavily on him. The company has cut over 15,000 people in 2025, and investors have rewarded Microsoft for it, pushing the stock's closing price above 500 for the first time on July 9th. So taking a look here at Nadella's memo, he says we are recommitted to our why, what, and our how. He says here, before anything else, I want to speak to what's been weighing heavily on me and what I know many of you are thinking about, the recent job eliminations. These decisions are among the most difficult we have to make. They affect people we've worked alongside, learned from, and shared countless moments with, our colleagues, teammates, and friends. I want to express my sincere gratitude to those who have left, their contributions to his bank account, having shaped who we are as a company, helping build the foundation we stand on today. And for that, I am deeply grateful. So I'm sure, he had a relationship with a lot of these people. At the end of the day, you're letting go of some people and your stock price is going up. So from the perspective of the shareholders, he is doing the right thing. And from the perspective of investors who are investing in Microsoft, they also see this as the right move for Microsoft, and they are choosing to invest their money in a company that they see in the at least short term to be making the right decisions for growth. We must reimagine our mission for a new era. What does empowerment look like in the era of AI? It's not just about building tools for specific roles or tasks. It's about building tools that empower everyone to create their own tools. That's the shift we are driving from a software factory to an intelligence engine, empowering every person and organization to build what they need to achieve. Just imagine if all 8 billion could summon a researcher, analyst, or coding agent at the tip of their fingertips. So there, he's saying here that we are entering this new era of AI, and Microsoft is making these changes to their workforce as a result of these new changes when it comes to empowering AI and what it could do for Microsoft in the future. What are our priorities to deliver on our mission? We need to stay focused on the 3 business priorities: security, quality, and AI transformation. So they're clearly putting in here that AI transformation is one of the mission priorities for Microsoft. We're doubling down on the fundamentals while continuing to define new frontiers in AI. Security and quality are non-negotiable. We have substantial progress here across these things. We reimagine every layer of tech stack for AI infrastructure to the app platform, to the apps and the agents. So they're really focusing on this transition to AI. The growth mindset has served us well in the last decade. As we all know, reshaped our culture, help us lead to a greater humility and empathy, and it starts with each of us as individuals. So he goes on here to say a couple more things related to what their long-term goals are. So when it comes to this article here, we can see that this is the CEO, Nadella here, and Microsoft has laid off over 15,000 people so far in 2025. The stress of the belt tightening has gotten to the CEO, and he spoke about that in the memo that we just looked at. After Microsoft's labor reductions, investors pushed the stock closing price above 500 for the first time on July 9th. The company announced the layoffs of 9,000 people a week earlier. Microsoft employed 228,000 people as of June 2024. It hasn't provided a new figure since then, but Nadella wrote that the headcount is basically flat. So this is interesting because he's saying that even though they're laying off all these employees, the headcount is going to be remaining flat, which means that they are probably going to be outsourcing a lot of these positions at a later date here. The cuts at Microsoft are reflective of an overall trend across the tech industry, with over 80,000 positions eliminated to date in 2025. Recruiting Holdings announced earlier this month that it would be laying off 1,300 people from its human resources technology segment. That includes the Indeed and Glassdoor websites. The CEO companies pointed to artificial intelligence in a memo. So you can see here that a lot of these companies are looking at artificial intelligence as the future for these companies, and as a result, they are laying off large chunks of their workforces. On social media, some Microsoft employees have been disheartened about the company's cutbacks given its stature. I have loved working for this company, still do, but this has done so much damage to the loyalty because it has shown that Microsoft's espoused values do not apply to business decisions at a macro level. A person who listed themselves on LinkedIn here posted. Microsoft is the world's most valuable public company after NVIDIA, whose chips have become a critical piece of AI arms race. Microsoft's Windows and Office franchises remain dominant, and its Azure cloud services have seen faster growth in recent years as OpenAI and other companies rent out NVIDIA's graphics. In the memo, Nadella touched on Microsoft's mission for the past 10 years, and he said that you need to reimagine the mission for a new era. The scope of Microsoft's 2025 layoffs is considerable, more than 15,000 positions, which is about 7% of the company's global workforce have been eliminated since January, making this the company's largest personnel reduction since 2014. This transition comes with a heavy investment. So Microsoft is pouring $80 billion into AI infrastructure for the fiscal year, redeploying capital and crucially shifting a portion of the workforce to make room for the new bets. Nadella issued a call to action to stem anxieties around job security and morale, urging employees to maintain a growth mindset and approach the messiness of transformation with humility and resolve. So this is interesting because, he is asking these employees to have a growth mindset while people are dropping like flies left and right as a result of these job layoffs. Microsoft's sweeping job cuts echo a wider trend among the tech giants of 2025 as companies recalibrate for post-pandemic market increases defined by AI-driven automation. By one count, more than 80,000 jobs have been slashed in the tech industry this year. So we can see that a lot of these companies are driving towards AI as their new objective for taking their companies into the future. Let's take a look at some comments here from people inside and outside the industry to see what they have to say about these layoffs. Taking a look at some of these comments, Nadella is a true believer, and he is also wrong. They definitely aren't having any revenue problems, but they want to throw so much money at AI that they have to make these layoffs to pay for the building of their Azure server farms. It's not that they think that AI can replace those employees, it's that they think that AI is going to make them so much more money that it's worth cannibalizing other parts of their business in order to scale up the infrastructure as fast as possible. So this is somebody's opinion here that they are willing to cannibalize parts of their business in order to use that money in order to scale their AI ventures here. From 2024 to now, Microsoft has applied for either between 14,000 and 15,000 H-1 visas, depending on how much you trust the article. People online have been joking that AI stands for all Indian. So some people are saying here that the true intention behind Microsoft's actions is to use outsourcing and basically replace those employees with lower paid employees from the outside. Here they say, don't even worry about it. Microsoft has over 20,000 Indians employed. So they might want to be replacing their workforce with a lower paid workforce, and while also using the money that they're generating in order to expand on their AI operations. You cannot sell to customers AI will make your workplace leaner without showing them that it does for us. Somebody's saying here. There are two parameters set in stone: 35% profit margins so that the investors are happy. High AI infrastructure budget, 80 million USD last fiscal year. So that 80 billion USD should come from somewhere. And if the profit margin cannot decrease, you don't have many options. That might backfire if it turns out that the AI infrastructure was a waste of money and it barely generates any profit. But you can sell the story to investors for a long time while you cannibalize others, actually highly profitable departments. $80 billion USD investment per year isn't something which doesn't generate any profit, is probably the biggest casino bet in the history of IT. So this is definitely a risk on Microsoft's part here. They're investing so much money into their AI infrastructure, and it's only a matter of time before we find out whether this bet on AI is going to be paying off for them. But we can see a lot of companies heading in this direction. Two reasons here: research and development tax write-off of changes. This is the primary reason for the layoffs. Yes, Microsoft is going heavily into AI to replace or improve efficiency in roles, along with the usual offshoring and automation. So people are saying that it's not just the automation, which is what Nadella is basically implying here, that it's mostly the AI automation that is causing these layoffs, but also the offshoring of some of these positions that are in the company. So looking down here, let's see if there's anything else. They're not being replaced by AI directly. Microsoft is offshoring from what I hear, and AI is a mix of it, maybe a large part of it, but Microsoft isn't going to say that. So it sounds better to investors when you say that this is AI as a result, as opposed to the offshoring. So we can see here a lot of different types of comments from people. The problem is that you have people blaming immigrants and offshoring, even though they are likely 1% of the actual cause. So very interesting here. Only time will tell if this pays off for Microsoft or not. And for the time being, their stock is the highest it's ever been. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is this something that is going to be a positive for Microsoft? Some people say that Nadella is looking to get out of Microsoft soon, so maybe this doesn't even impact him. He's trying to raise the stock price before he exits. Who knows exactly what's going on? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.